Argentia gets over 200 days of fog a year, and the Grand Banks might be the foggiest place on the planet. What makes Newfoundland such a foggy spot? Newfoundland has so much fog because we're sitting at a very special place, the meeting point of two currents, the warm Gulf Stream from the south and the cold Labrador Current from the north. When the chilly air that's moving along with the Labrador Current meets the warm, moist air that comes with the Gulf Stream, it causes that warm air to lose the moisture that it's carrying, because cold air can't hold as much moisture as warm air. It causes it to condense. It condenses onto any little particles that might be in the air. And that moisture condensation in the air, that's fog. I have a neat little demo how you can make fog in a jar. I did it in my kitchen. Check this out. If you're going to make fog in a jar, you need 6 things. First, you need a responsible adult, because some of the stuff we're going to do is dangerous. You need a jar, of course. You need some warm water from the tap, a match, a plastic bag, and some ice. Ice cubes would be fine, but I used snow from my backyard because it's winter where I am, and as you can see, I have mountains of it. The first step was to fill the jar with warm tap water. Then I let the warm water sit in the jar for a little while I got everything else ready. When I was good to go, I poured out most of the water in the jar. I left 3 or 4 centimeters at the bottom. The next part is where it gets a little bit dangerous and should only be done by an adult. You have to light a match. I just dropped the match right into the water. It went out right away. After some of the smoke cleared, I put my bag of snow on top of the jar. And just look what happened. In just a few seconds, you get fog. See how it's rolling? That's a good clue to what's going on. Warm, moist air above the tap water is rising and cooling off when it gets close to the snow. As it cools, it loses the ability to hold moisture, so it lets go of the water it's carrying. The tiny droplets stick to the smoke particles, making fog. You can see the cool air falling back to the water's surface. This is pretty much what happens on the Grand Banks. The warm air above the Gulf Stream loses its ability to carry water when it meets the cool Labrador Current. The droplets cling to the particles in the air. This process happens so consistently and on such a large scale that it turns the Grand Banks into an enormous fog factory. So that's how I made fog in my kitchen. It's pretty easy. If you want to try the demo, make sure you do it with a responsible adult because fire is dangerous and I don't want you to get hurt. If you have any questions about fog or Newfoundland, or you want to let me know how the demo went for you, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Have a good one.